What's crazy about the diverse and inclusive modern audience of NuTrek fans and people who are in that Alex Kurtzman sycophant group is they're not diverse and inclusive at all. In fact, they try to hate everybody out without any kind of differing opinions. You can't say anything negative. It's a culture of toxic positivity, as I like to call it. I first started noticing this when it came to Robert Picardo's tweets on X and the like. At first, when Starfleet Academy was coming out, he hit follow of me. I thought it was pretty cool to have a Voyager actor following me. Next, I saw that he'd just say negative things on my comments about my takes on the show and things like that. As it went along, he started calling me personal attacks, names, etc., a troll, saying that I was just doing it for monetized engagement, etc., when it appeared that's exactly what he was doing with the situation. And in fact, I only believe that somebody like Robert Picardo took a role in Starfleet Academy because aging actors don't get a lot of roles. He probably needed a paycheck. It was probably paying pretty well. And so he said, sure, and I'll do the promotion too. And he probably signed the contract to do just that. Now, we know the Kurtzman apparatus is very, very controlling as far as it comes to information. They've set up their own websites over decades that they feed information out to, give interviews to, and it's a very tight-knit community to where they want to just control all of Star Trek, and that's been basically the problem. They've made themselves an insular circle of just a small amount of people that you just better say yes all the time, otherwise you're out, and that's it. Maybe the problem with everything that we've led up to at this point is that they didn't have anybody who actually was outside the echo chamber who could actually tell them, hey, this is not good Star Trek. And that's exactly where everything has fallen down. And you could see it. It's crumbling and it's all falling apart. Now, we're in a situation as fans now where we're kind of waiting for the next installment, figuring out what's going on. I've made some reports on that. It looks like Kurtzman and company are going to be out, and it looks like they are starting fresh at Paramount with a new slate. Paramount has also started their own publishing division for their licensed IP properties, which changes things going down the line as well. There's all sorts of changes on the business end that are going to impact Star Trek, and we know that there's a couple things in development as well, like Star Trek United and a future project from the Dungeons & Dragons Honors Among Thieves directors to come out in the future. So where does all this lead, and what is this clout structure that's happening now? Now, I noticed something even weirder, that Star Trek fans get really, really angry when you point out the problems, and they start get personally attacking. This is not the diverse and inclusivity like sort of group that they pretend they're at. You can't say anything. Otherwise, they just have to make it weird and personal. I'm going to get into it today based on what we covered last week. So please hit the like and subscribe button. The attacks are coming in pretty hard. It's pretty weird. And it's maybe, Star Trek news is slowing down and the like, and maybe that's why these people are getting so rabid, I guess. I don't know how to parse it out otherwise, but it's weird stuff. So please hit the like, subscribe button as we talk about all things in Trek culture and the like. And the actual real Trek fan culture is a big part of what we're doing here. We're building the real fans in the culture here, and through my newsletter, through my community and the like, actually caring about science fiction again. I'm a big science fiction writer, I've mentioned many times on the channel, and I want you to sign up for my newsletter so you know when these books come out and more. Stay in touch with me, stay in touch with the community, because we're building something real, and I think that's why they're afraid of us. Us more than anybody else, causes problems for the establishment because we just say what's the truth, and we can't really be bought off over here. So my newsletter is awesome. Sign up in the description below. You get 3 free books for doing so. I have some awesome books coming out soon. Like I said, I appreciate you guys for being here, and thanks for supporting so far. 10,000 plus people. We're like, this is bigger than most Star Trek Facebook groups. Now, when the Kurtzman deal all went around, Facebook groups and the like started hating out anybody who, just was critical of Discovery or critical of Lower Decks or critical of the continuity problems with Strange New Worlds. You might have found yourself banned, maligned, etc. The mods don't do anything to protect you as a real Star Trek fan, and it's really insulting because if you're like me, you've been a Star Trek fan for 30, 40 years, maybe even longer. A lot of people who watch this channel are actually original series fans. I appreciate you guys, and you guys are the real core that they're forsaking through of all this stuff that they've been doing over the last decade and more. With that, it's like you're not allowed to just voice your own opinion on things at all. And you've seen it. Like I said, they've gone through and they tried to kill any talk about Starfleet Academy that was negative. They tried to ban everybody from groups. They tried to personally attack everybody and malign anybody who's saying anything. They call us all trolls, etc. Even Tachyon Pulse, he's been reporting over the last couple weeks that he's a lot nicer than I am about this stuff and tries to give it more of a chance than I do, of course, because it's woke and I can't tolerate that. But he said a Star Trek actor was calling him a troll and the like, and kind of apologized to him, but then kind of doubled down on it as well. These people are in an echo chamber, and they've got it stuck in their head that there is no such thing as legitimate criticism or legitimate talk about this stuff. Now, last week I talked about how the brand is dying, and I talked about it here. I'm in this group here called the Star Trek Books Community because I'm one of the few people who cares about Star Trek books. Yes, I read a lot of them. I don't have the full collection, but I have most of the numbered novels. You remember those from back in the day, and most of the books from the sort of lit-verse continuation that continued the story of Deep Space Nine, The Next Generation, and Voyager after Nemesis. And so that's a lot of stuff that I like a lot. And I've noticed that like Star Trek books, and I've talked about it on the channel, just don't sell well whatsoever. I'm selling with my Space Fleet Academy books that we came out with a couple months ago, still outselling Star Trek books that are like new now. And it's like, wow, that's crazy that this is happening. And there's a major problem for it. So I brought up all the legitimate business reasons, and I talk about the brand death of the show, no marketing whatsoever from pocketbooks, and the fact that they put out a $14.99 ebook, which is absurd. That's not how much ebooks cost. And so there it is. So a lot of this stuff people talk about here, you can see here's I don't agree with you on brand death. You can tell by sheer discussion and viewing. I think people are generally desperate for good books and sci-fi, so Star Trek can tap into that, but you're right on cost. Now, that's a nice thing right there, but some of this gets really, really weird quickly. You'll start to see that some people in here will start to like get weirdly attacking. Oh gosh, did the mods delete the comments, or somebody must have dang it. Of course, as I record the video, this is what's happening. People got weirdly personal on here. It looks like some of the comments got deleted, maybe by the mods, or maybe this is or maybe by some of the people who were going crazy on me. Some people started attacking me personally, saying weird libelous stuff about me. Here's this. Here's one. He's a shit stirrer. Check out his Twitter. Well, thank you for sending somebody to my Twitter. Yes. Follow me for the best Star Trek takes. But you could see like how this gone. It's only been available for 2 days. Calm down. Now that's interesting. Like, and you could see like this is a argument that's not personal here, but 2 days, 3 days, the launch is what's the most important for books. If you don't know how books work, your first 2-3 days are your biggest sellers. And it's like an exponential curve over the next couple of weeks. Usually falls down after that, unless you have tremendous advertising or word of mouth that changes things. And that's very unusual for a book. It's probably not happening here. And so, like I said, people started personally attacking me on here pretty badly, and I wish I had it still because I was ready to record this video. But here's some of it. By the way, what makes you a Star Trek influencer? I've never heard of you. Here's how it starts at this point. And yes, I have one of the bigger Star Trek YouTube channels out there that people watch, and thank you guys for doing so. But he's never heard of me, right? An influencer is a person who's too big for their boots, who thinks their opinion matters. My opinion does matter to a lot of Trek fans, and I think I agree. It's because I agree with a lot of Trek fans. It's not really as much me as like I am giving a voice to people who have been voiceless in this stuff because everybody's been banned or shut down by these people who keep screaming diversity all the time. One presumes you're self-published. Anyone can do that, including me. I've published a short story book. Well, congratulations with that. And here it is. He sounds like one of those people who think they're important, thus the self-styled influencer labor. I'm like, I don't know. I have a 70,000 subscriber YouTube channel and a 20,000 X following. It's literally what I do for a living. So that's that. No one cares. You can see how nasty these people get. Okay. Well, you care, Mr. Guy who's angry there. It's pretty interesting how this goes. And I said, somebody talked about the marketing. I said, you have to know where to look for marketing and the like, and it's really not there, right? And there's not a lot going on with it. And some people did get a little nastier, so thank you to the mods of this group for actually taking down some of this stuff, I guess. But they got nasty over this, is where it came down to. And this is, again, what I see. It's like, I didn't say anything about the quality of the book. I'm not, if you're a fan of Dayton Ward or whatever, there was no talk about that. It was just that, hey, Star Trek's in trouble right now, and if like they want to fix it, they've got a lot of marketing work to do on top of a lot of this stuff. Because it does all roll downhill and it causes a lot of problems for the brand. People can't handle that, and people get really oddly personal and really angry about that. And I wish I had the example still, but like I said, maybe either they blocked me or it got removed, because that's what happens is these people can't handle opinions. That's what happened with Robert Picardo. He blocked me because I was pretty nice about things whenever I interacted with him, but he just kept escalating and escalating and escalating, then called me a troll in the response. And that's what these people do. So here's the deal, and if you're part of Hollywood If you watch this as part of Kurtzman's group or even Paramount, who's looking to take this over, don't like go at the fans like this. It doesn't help at all. Criticism's a thing is as it is. Look, I get some bad reviews of my books. Everybody does, and I say thank you very much. I'm going to try to do better on the next one for you. That's what a professional does. You don't act like this like whole like crazy nut sort of like wanting to get everybody out of the space and claim you're not the real Trek fans, etc. If you don't just toe the corporate line. That's exactly what they've been doing so far. Now, like I said, I don't know anything about the quality of this book. I just know that it didn't sell well. And so I look at it from a business perspective. What does that mean? And marketing's a large part of that. I have a marketing background, and so I understand that quite a bit. And so they've screwed the pooch on this, and there's a few reasons why. There might be some more that are very relevant, but somebody needs to help out the brand over there, and somebody needs to make Star Trek great again. Otherwise, all this stuff's going to die, and we're not going to even have any books or comics or whatever 5 years down the line because it won't make any money whatsoever. That's a big problem. If that's happening, Star Trek really needs to get its act together. And the people who are these sycophant fans who are like defending all the new stuff by attacking everybody else, you're not building a more inclusive environment. You're building a more insular environment, and you're actually shrinking the fandom even worse as it goes along. There's a reason like the Star Trek creation cons are empty when all the NuTrek people are actually up on stage and the like, and they come in for the next generation stuff. If those people aren't there, you don't have much going on. And I'm going to be honest, these guys are getting up there. Even like Riker and Geordi and these guys from the next generation, they're pretty old. Like, I mean, how much longer are they going to be able to do con circuits all the time? They might just hit the big ones soon. And then after that, they might just like, retire. And then what do you have? Not much. We have to build something new or it's never going to come back again. All right, leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Please hit the like and subscribe button. I appreciate you guys being here. I'm sorry that stuff got deleted or whatever. That I was going to show there were nasty personal attacks on that thread. You just got to trust me on that, I guess. But this is my newsletter, guys. I'm a sci-fi writer. I appreciate you. It's in the description below. We'll be back soon.